This guy fucking showing that King Kong fucking. You fucking all watch King Kong in the 80s and you fucking see this fucking, what do you call it, with yellow hair, and you're like, put me down. And King Kong's like, you know what I mean? I was there, like, I was like, why? I'm like, put me down. Or call it what you want, you know what I mean? But like, oh, that's not the Walter I know and stuff like that. Well, you know what? When I moved out here, you know, I didn't expect to hear the crap that I heard. You know what I mean? I didn't expect to expect the cold welcome that I got. So hey, hey, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's my life. Maybe it's Watergate. Maybe it's just like, maybe it's San Francisco. Maybe it's not my. Maybe it's collectively you hate me, and individuals hate us together. That's what it says. Say it together. Collectively you hate us, and you have to. Okay, some of these rudimentary things. Can I say that now? Since we're in 1D or something like that. 1D. Okay. I forgot already. But okay. So let's just go back to basics. Let's get home. Collectively you hate, and individually. Okay. So now we got that premise. So even if you cheated your way up to this point, you cheated your way. You have to have that, accept that, okay? And if everything else falls beyond this point, that's your own fault. Okay, so now, so with that, King, he was like about, right, that was in the 80s. That dude passed away. I don't know how many people died. Just like this, Optimus Prime is all of a sudden he's on the whole thing. Hey, I'm not getting ahead of myself. And I mean, wasn't it? It was just me, or who's the president? Who wants to be the president? Who wants to be the president? Who wants to be the president? What's your name? You want to be the president? What's your name? In court, what their lawyers are doing is presenting very broad, very generalized statements about the process. Keeping it real. Keeping it real. Keeping it real. Present individual ballots that were either fraudulent or irregularities. Oh, we had a moment, yeah. Their complaints are very, very scant in that area. So yeah, I like that. So basically they get you into a whirlwind and say, oh, this guy's a lunatic, and then I have to, you know, I have to like cover both sides of the aisle. You know what I mean? Of like the aisle of what aisle of the thousand aisle lime aisle. Well, when you present evidence to the court in the form of affidavit, and in your thirstiest days, we will give you vinegar. In your most blind days, we will give you a pigeon. And so they're like, hey, Tom Cruise, that was plagiarism. I mean, I started hiding myself. I still hide myself because you know the plastic glass does a little much. You know what I mean? And you know, and the whole, and you know, and to be honest with you, it just kind of gets a little, you know, as a Visigoth, you kind of, you know, you're like, that's not Crete, and then like, you know, but you know, you're not discriminating, right? You're just kind of like, you know, hey, you know, a plaza is a plaza, right? If you will. Whether it's plastic glass, plaza, point is basically if you're going to get into adult education, and you studied history before, and if you're going to get into adult education now, and you study aliens now, because you want to get a wrap around things, or rather, you want to study law, because if you get in a situation where you have to act like you have to know what default means, and you know what by default means, and still you can't have a contract filled with so many kind of them holes, and what do you call it? It's like, this is about goddamn this, and like, I didn't sign this for that, and then you might want to also study you know, the King Kong series of the 80s and whatnot. So you might want to get a little bit of history. And plus you have to, because that's the only way you have to. But the point of it is that if you bring it home, don't pimp it and whatever, but don't let it go, because I'm gonna let it go. disenfranchise me. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Because there's no point in trying to say, oh, pick up in the ground running, and you know, and you're talking about we're gonna hand count this here because we're hand counting it, and I'm like that, and like you know, and I'm like you know, and none of I'll do it right. But what I was saying, you know, debunk, you know? No, they're not so bad. They're not so bad. It's hard to tell.